Well, the easy answer is coincidence, but there are no such things in this world. So the more complex answer to that would be I worked hard, I was in the right place at the right time, but most importantly, I paid a lot of attention to the people around me. And when my boss, the former U.S. Undersecretary of State, Nicholas Burns, joined the Kennedy School, I realized I had met him before when I lived in Brussels, and he was the U.S. ambassador to NATO. And I sought him out, as I was trained to do at Brown, and we had a conversation. I ended up taking his class. He made me his research assistant because he wanted me to work on a book that he was writing about his 27 years in the State Department. And then he and I came to the conclusion that the Kennedy School was missing something fundamental in the way that it trained its young students, predominantly its younger students, in international and global affairs. And we felt that there was not attention or enough attention being given to how diplomacy has to change in the 21st century, what modern statecraft should look like in a world that's rapidly advancing, that's in some ways becoming much closer and in other ways pulling further apart, where technology plays such a large role. And so he asked me to come up with a program. And I took all of my problem-solving skills, much of which I had honed at Brown, and my 10 years of work experience as a journalist and working in a think tank. And I put all of that together to build this program and run my own startup in the country's oldest research university. So that was thrilling and exciting and has been a wonderful ride over the past almost 4 years now. Well, if that person was a Brown student, I would say do exactly what you're doing, because what you're likely doing is taking a lot of risks, exploring the things that are interesting to you, not what your parents want you to do, not what your classmates want you to do. You're taking the classes and exploring the fields where you're beginning to see connections that maybe nobody else is seeing. And so because you have an ability, you chose this place, and this place is going to allow you to leverage the connections and the interests. And you know, when you get out there, you find that the world is not that different, but a lot of people are still thinking in very small, segmented boxes. But the fact that the world is changing at this unbelievably rapid rate makes it the perfect playing field for any Brown student, because you've already done that work. It is normal for you to have an interest in other human beings. This is your daily life. It is normal for you to ask questions. The one thing you have to do is you have to listen well, and then you will bring together connections that other people are not seeing. So take risks, learn another language, immerse yourself deeply in another culture. Go teach in Indonesia for a year if that's what you want, no matter what the job market says. You know, do what will fulfill you. That's going to make a richer story for yourself, and it's going to lead you into a really gratifying path, irrespective of what your parents' concerns might be. Careers today are not like they used to be. So nothing is forever. Change is always, and you can really enjoy the experience as you go along. There are a couple things that I think have really stuck with me. One thing is not to judge, because the person across from you is fighting a fight that you know nothing about. And if you're active in intercultural and international relations, that's absolutely crucial. Don't use your frame of mind, your values, and whatever you assume to be right to judge somebody else. Then you always lean in further and you listen more and you ask more active questions, and you don't impose your frame of mind on them. And that's when you really, get the interesting conversation. And when you can make that human connection, because truthfully the most important thing, the thing we all want, is to be heard. To be understood is the second part, but first of all, to be heard. And if you can make that connection in a judgment-free way, you're going to have the most genuine experience, and it might be a networking experience, but you have shown a genuine interest in another human being, and they're going to remember that. And it doesn't matter how old you are or if you're relating to somebody who's far your senior. If you've been able to make that human connection, it's going to help you more than you could possibly imagine. Maybe not now, maybe in 5 years, maybe in 10, maybe in 20, but those things are important. Pay attention to the other people around you.